Well, I'm just starting on the sauna. Got the concrete poured about a week and a half ago, the slab, and I've marked out my 6 posts. I kind of screwed up in the beginning. I did 8 1/4. That's how big my posts are. Made a line. Well, then I figured I wanted to have about an inch proud, I guess you'd say, all the way around the entire cordwood wall and the posts. So that's why I put another inch there. So when I set the post, I'll match it up with that second line. And then I'll have a little gap of concrete all the way around. I got those all marked out. And then me and my wife figured out how we want the doors and everything to be. So this will be like they call the ant chamber, or where you change your clothes, is the first half all the way to that split in the concrete, the cut. That's about halfway. So this will be a changing room, and then the actual sauna will be in the back. And we do have a drain right here, so it slopes, and then I'll just have to connect to that drain pipe and get it across the little path we got here. Right now I'm cutting all of our posts and beams, doing a shortcut and just freehanding the cut with a chainsaw. What I should do, I do have a beam maker for my chainsaw, and it's just an apparatus that'll follow a 2x4, so I could screw a 2x4 on these posts and then attach that onto my bar, but I am feeling lazy and not wanting to do all that. And then I could screw the 2x4 onto the post, and then I would get a straight cut, most likely. I have yet to try it though, so I'm just kind of freestyling it right now. A few more cuts and all the posts will be done, and then these 3 will be the beams. And I'm not going to cut those at all. They're within 2 inches of being the exact length, so I'll just leave that kind of natural edge there that's already weathered, instead of cutting it and then exposing, you know, fresh wood. I'd have to cut both sides and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get that fussy. I think it'll look cool with that angled, how it was cut from the tree. So the plan is to have a door in the corner and a window, and we have yet to see which side we want the window and which side we want the door. We're going to kind of wait till the evening, and I have to figure out where the sun is going to be, and kind of visualize how much the house is going to block the sun in the evening, because we'll probably be using this in the evening. So I want the sun to filter through the the window, and then I'll also have a window into the sauna facing the changing room, so the sun will come through into this room and filter into the sauna in the evening. And then we'll also have 2 windows on either side in the back of the sauna, just to look out into the woods here while we're actually doing the sauna. We'll also have a window on both sides of this changing room, so that could be like a spot. Maybe you open the windows, get some breeze, and you could read a book, or I don't know what we would do in there, but I just want it to be airy in there and stuff, And plus, the more windows we put in, the less cordwood we have to do. Save time. It'll make this a sunnier area that we'll probably use more, and save us some cordwood that we can use in the house. Yeah, and I know shorts and sandals and chainsaws don't mix. I don't care. We're going to stop a little bit early today, but this is what we got done. All the framing members are cut. The posts and beams, we have 3 set. And we have 1 pinned, so we're going to brace everything kind of off of this one. I'm using 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch wedge anchors. and like an angled bracket I got from the lumber store. So 2 wedge connectors, and then 2 whatever you want to call them, the Spax type screws. I believe those are 4 inches. Pretty solid. That'll all be contained in the cordwood. And then where the door is going to be, I'm going to have another post here. I won't do the interior of those. Those won't have an anchor. Same thing with the 2 posts in the center for the door that goes into the sauna. What I did do, I had to make these holes larger, widen them out, because it wouldn't fit the posts that we're doing. So I just used a step bit or unibit Christmas tree bit. These are super handy, and then just hit it both sides to widen out that hole. See, this one didn't quite fit, because when I started drilling it, the bit got off center, but I just widened out the hole with this, and we're good to go. Now that'll sit right between the 2 mortar beads inside that insulation pocket. One thing we did was cut a perfect square out of a shingle, and what that does is keep the moisture from the concrete to soak up into your timber post. You don't want to forget that, because the moisture will suck up through here, and this will rot out for sure after a while. So I've set each post on one of these pieces of shingle. No matter where it is, even on the interior where the door will be, I'm going to have 2 posts, and that's not necessary an 8x8 post, but it's going to look cool. It's going to look nice, and I have the post to do it. So, but even there, anytime you put any of this wood against the concrete, you're going to want to put some type of moisture barrier. These timbers aren't as heavy as they look. They've been drying. They're completely dry. They've been sitting in under cover that I know of at my house for like 10 years, 8 years. I've been planning on building this thing. I was going to build it at our old house, but now that we moved, obviously things have changed. So they've been sitting a really long time, and they are softwood. All but these 2 timbers. These, I believe, are oak, and those were very heavy. The other thing is, some of these have rot in them. I don't remember if I bought them with a little bit of rot or what the deal was. But like this oak has rot in it. That's why I specifically chose to put it there and position it that way, because the cordwood will come and butt up against and completely enclose that. And there's a lot of hard wood in there too. So I'm not too worried about it. The other thing is I will have 2 other beams in this center portion. So I think once it's under cover, the rot will stop. It won't be moisture and air won't get to it. So, and the rest of the beams, there is one with rot in here. And again, that's on the inside. I did not put it on to the outside where it's going to get wet at all. So there's a little bit of rot in the corner of this. You can see where it is. So again, the cordwood wall will butt up against that, and that'll be pretty much completely encased. And I assume the rot will stop. It's not going to continue to go if it dries out and stays dry all the time. So got that beam up. There's a little gap here. So the one thing so far that I've found that I would do different, or am going to do different, because I'm going to be doing these same timbers on our house, and I'm going to have 24 of them. So again, this is good practice, is you can't fool around with cutting that square on the cuts here by freehanding it with a chainsaw. It's just not going to work. So what I think I'm going to do is buy one of those attachments you put on a skill saw to change your skill saw into like it's a bar, like a chainsaw, and it cuts with a chainsaw blade. I forget what it's called, but they do make them. And I think that would be perfect for cutting all of these perfectly square. So because I have to do 24 of them, I'm going to get that attachment. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend the money. I don't think it's that expensive, honestly. It's under $200, and I think it'll be well worth it to easily cut these square, because it's hard to cut a timber that big square. You know, you could do a sawzall. Sawzall blades are too skinny, and they'll start wandering in the cut. You could cut every side with a skill saw. You'll get 2-inch depth all the way around, and you'll still have that 4x4 center that you'd have to cut with probably a sawzall. So that would be, I guess, the best option other than buying this attachment. But we'll see. I might cut one like that with the skill saw sawzall option and see how it goes. But I don't think I really want to do that with how many cuts I have to do over here. Well, that was a little kind of kittywampus there. But I took this sawzall and I just touched it up, took out some wood on both sides where I thought I needed it. Now it's sitting perfectly flat. Now I'm going to take these timber screws and just toe screw this in. And that'll get all covered up with cordwood on the inside of the wall, so you won't be able to see it. That should look good. And then we'll do the same thing here. Actually, that twisted the board a little bit. I'm guessing when I suck those screws in, it'll kind of twist this whole beam, hopefully. Sink that in. There we go. Took that gap out. So this is what we ended up with at the end of this weekend. It took kind of 2.5 days, but we didn't work long days, and my back isn't the perfect right now, so I worked a little slower than usual. But actually, it's really easy to do. I guess I'm used to doing the timber framing with the round logs, so using these square logs is really simple. I pinned everything on the bottom like I had showed, and then I'm gonna leave it like this until we get the roof on. So I've braced the back and front and the sides. Also, the one thing I would suggest is these ones are going this way. These two braces actually should go the other way to stiffen it up more. But as long as you're not sitting there pushing on it, you should be good. And then I also put a 2x6 up there just to tie in the 3 walls up on the top until I get the rafters. So I have to get everything for the roof, so that'll be the next video. But also I'm going to start building the door. So there's going to be 2 doors in here. The front door, which I kind of haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. I don't think that has to be really insulated. But this door will be a nice heavy insulated door to go into the sauna. So that'll be the next video. I'm still undecided on what I'm going to do for windows. The front part will have a window on both sides here, one in the front and one on the other side. So you can use this anytime for a sitting room, and it'll be nice and breezy inside. And then the sauna area will have a window that opens up to the changing room that actually can open. And that's when I heat the fire for the sauna, I can open that and let some warm air get into the changing room, so when you come in here it's not freezing cold. And also I'm going to have a window in this door also, and that's just to let in light in the evening. That's towards the west, so the sun should filter through these 2 windows and into the side window here and the door window to get you some more light in the sauna area. And I haven't decided how many windows I'm going to put in the sauna and if they're going to open it or not. So I got to figure that out, because I want to let in light and be able to see out and not have it feel like a dungeon enclosed. So I've yet to decide how many windows I'm going to put on the sides and back, but it turned out good. And so far, not a terribly difficult project. I would say that when you get your own timbers, they'll probably be a lot greener than the ones I'm using, which are super dry and can be handled by one person. I know when I bought these things, they weren't that light. So it took about 7-8 years to dry them, which you don't need to do. It's just that it took me that long to build or start this project. So